Gyroscope. The skids catch and we start to roll. Suddenly, I'm hanging upside down, my straps cutting into my shoulders. Cole slides up the wall toward the ceiling. He wasn't strapped in. He hits with a thump, arms up just in time to protect his head. I grab onto him. The car is still rolling, and seconds later, we're right side up and then upside down again. The world wheels around me, and Cole and I cling to each other. My stomach lurches. My hair is in my eyes. A loose water bottle bounces around the cabin along with Dr. Leva's toolkit. We crash down onto our skids again and start sliding, and Cole's full weight tumbles down on me. We're wrapped around each other like two terrified littlies. The car is still sliding down the hillside. The lifting fans are shrieking, Zura yelling as she tries to shut them down. The car's skids catch on hard rock again, and we roll over once more. This time, Cole and I are ready, and he stays in my arms. The fans spin down at last. As their whine fades, the car settles on a patch of level ground. The only problem is, we're upside down, and 20 kilometers from my father's house. It was the gyroscope, Zura says. She and Dr. Levia are kneeling on the belly of the unpended hover car, staring down into its guts. The rest of us are on the ground, standing in the gouges left by the sliding car. Cole has a meta-wipe shoving into his bloody nose. My left eye is darkened where his elbow hit, and I have the twitchy making feeling that I will never leave my father's city behind. Everyone else is okay. Even the hover car is mostly undamaged, except for its delicate, crucial sense of balance. I missed it last night, Dr. Levy says. One of those fletches lodged in the gyro case. But we flew level on the way here, Cole says. Leva nods. It wasn't a direct hit, but every click we traveled, the fletchette was in there vibrating, nudging the gyro out of whack. This is my fault, Zura says. I knew the controls felt wrong. It's just bad luck, Cole says, but she doesn't answer. She's still angry with herself for lifting off before the Palafox's air was safely strapped into his seat. Levi drops from the hover car's belly onto the grass. It's just lucky we're carrying a spare gyroscope. This is the only car in the fleet that has one. I smile at Cole. It's nice to be the heir. We need an alley with a factory, he mutters. This is our army's real problem. After long weeks in the wild, our ships need maintenance. Our hole in the wall can print clothing and equipment, but not serious military hardware. This is why the rebels don't use hover cars. The wild is unkind to complicated machines. I can switch the new one in, Zura says, but it'll take a few hours. You mean we'll still be here after dawn? Dr. Levick says. Zura nods. We can't let the sabotage go ahead, or they'll come looking for the people who planted that code. You'll have to save your recipe for another day, Doctor. Leva sighs, then picks up his toolkit and handscreen. It was too good to be true. Come on, Frey. Dr. Leva and I climb back to the other side of the hill, then creep down to the edge of the solar colony. The sky is already changing color, the stars in the east fading into an inky blue. In the distance, Shrev is lighting up. The factory belt teems with drones and self-driving trucks. I bring us to a halt 30 meters from the nearest panels. Wait here. I'll be back with one in a minute. It's too late, he says. I stare at him. What is? It would take hours for a new code to spread through the whole colony. Once the sun comes up, my sabotage program is going to activate. Shrev will notice something's wrong, no matter what we do. I stare at him. Why didn't you tell Zura that? I didn't want her rushing the repair job like she rushed our takeoff. I've already been in one hover car crash today. He takes my shoulder, and you and I will be more useful here. We have a weapon. When Shrev comes looking for who hijacked their power station, he gestures out at the countless panels, the reflectors rippling into position as dawn spills across the sky. I shake my head. You're going to fight off half the Shrev army with a bunch of solar panels? No, with the most powerful object in the solar system. Might I borrow your plasma gun? I sigh and hand the weapon over. Are you being cryptic for dramatic effect, Doctor? You're clever enough to figure it out. He pulls the hydrogen battery off the rifle's plasma chamber. I stand there watching him work. I should warn Zura what's happening, but we're too close to the city to risk a ping. I could climb back, but I don't want to leave Levia alone. And maybe he's right. A rushed repair job can only make things worse. There's nothing to do but wait and try to figure out what Dr. Levia is up to. As the sun rises, the colony of solar panels begin to stir. Instead of jockeying for flight, they're flowing away toward the outskirts of Shrev. Levia's plan was for them to attack the city's infrastructure, clogging drains, getting in the way of loading drones, covering up the markings in the road that guide cargo trucks. There was also something about starting fires. That must be what he has in mind now. I'm pretty sure the most powerful object in the solar system is the sun, but I'm not sure why he needs to take my weapon apart. While Dr. Livia works, I pace back and forth. My father's tower is too close for me to relax. It's all I can do not to stare at it. I imagine him inside, plotting his next moves against us. Is he still angry that I've turned against him? Or now that I've served my purpose, does he even care? A couple of hours after dawn, someone in Shrev notices the solar colony's strange behavior. A hover car peels off from the formation over the city and heads toward us. Are we ready, I ask? Maybe. Dr. Levia hands me his improvised contraption. It looks like a demented Little East science project, the laser torch from its toolkit, mated with what's left of my plasma gun. Have you figured it out yet? I look down at the horde of solar panels. They're set to high reflectivity, glittering like mirrors in the sun. Hundreds of thousands of them. Archimedes, I say. Ah, the doctor looks impressed with me. It's a legend about an ancient inventor. He burned ships with mirrors, like a pre-rusty laser. My military tutor taught me that one when I was 10. When I told Rafi, we spent the day incinerating ants. I raised my altered plasma gun. So this is a target indicator? Exactly, Levia says. The sabotage code contains a swarming function. Light something up with that and all the panels will focus on it. But don't fire till you have to. Not sure how many shots you'll get before it all burns out. I sigh, checking the seals on my sneak suit. In the sky, the scout ship has come to a halt directly above the colony of panels. It lingers there, drifting back and forth like a survey drone. The crew probably thinks this is a malfunction, not an attack. Maybe they'll send out a team and a ground car to investigate. That might buy Zura another hour for her repairs. The scout car rises up, and for a moment, I think it's headed home to Shrev. But then it starts a slow loop around the edges of the solar colony, searching. Motionless in our suits, Levia and I are invisible, but on the other side of the hill, the hover car is belly up, its camo skin damaged by flechettes and the crash. I see the exact moment when the scout spots our car. It drops a little in the sky, taking a closer look. Then the scream of its lifting fans changes in pitch. It wheels into a tight turn, and a ring of plasma streaks up from behind the hill. 2 lifting fans vaporize. The scout car spins earthward, out of control. It crashes against our side of the hill and begins to roll downward in a gyre of flame, headed straight toward us.